Okay. So again, if you can grab a chair, again, if my camera, if you don't have a chair, liquid laundry detergent, maybe a milk jug, you can kind of get creative with that. If you do have little dumbbells, that would be appropriate as well. Like I said, we're going to try a couple. Adjust my camera just a smidge. Make sure you can see my feet, but at the same time, make sure you can see my head. Okay, let's just get warmed up again because I'm not sure who else is joining, but we'll just start with a bit of arm walking in the spot. So nice on my knees, arms swinging a little bit. I'm crawling right now. Get that here. I'm going to start my timer so I can really end on time here. Again, you just swing your arms out as we walk. And again, you can do a couple butt kicks. You're going to kind of bring your bum up toward, or your feet toward your bum. And again, I'm just asking people to grab a chair today because I want to use a chair, armchair. Ideally, if you don't have an armchair, a kitchen chair, even a stool might work. Again, grabbing something you can use as weight if you don't have that kind of stuff available. Milk jug, liquid laundry detergent, etc. Okay, so then we'll try a couple side bends. So just leaning down to the side. Nice wide width with your legs. Toes pointing forward. Or maybe in a slight angle out if that's a bit more comfortable for you. I'm gonna add a bit of an arm reach. So I'm gonna bend down and kind of reach perpendicular out to the side or kind of in the plane of my body, reach out. I'm just gonna get a bit of stretch to the shoulder and through the back. I always like to exhale as I reach out. One more. Awesome. And again, I'm gonna do some bends. So I'm gonna start from my neck, chin down to more of my chest, and then kind of curl through my upper back, and then I keep going through my low back, and then reach down toward my legs, and then opposite, come back up. So start with my low back, mid back through my neck. I'm gonna reach up above my head as well. A couple more of those. So again, you're gonna reach down, chin down to your chest, curl through your mid back, and follow through with your low back, kind of reaching down towards the ground, and then opposite to that, low back straightening out, mid back straightening out, then through the neck and up. And one last one. Arms down, reach, chin down, mid back, low back, and reaching down. And opposite of that, curling up to the low back, and the mid back, the neck. Okay, so we'll go through our mobility exercises, how we like to go through. I'm going to start from the hands and knees. Again, it's very similar to that last exercise, but some people just find this a little bit more supportive, so we'll do this cat and cow. So again, chin tucked toward my chest. Push up through my shoulders, so I'm going to arch my mid back upwards, and then I'm going to tuck my tailbone underneath my hips. Opposite of that, I'm going to stick my bum out, drop the chest, and then look up. And again, you're only taking it to the range you are feeling comfortable repeating this movement. Chin down, shoulders up, tucking the tail. Again, opposite to that, sticking up your bum, dropping your shoulders, and looking up. We'll just do a couple more of these guys. Gives those people that might be new an opportunity to try to get comfortable with it and understand what this looks like. It is a bit unusual for somebody that's never done this. Again, of course, you're breathing. I like to just take nice deep breaths in my nose and my mouth. It's harder to do as I'm talking. Cool. Just gonna shake that out. Sorry, I'm gonna do my thread the needle. So again, for my hands and knees, I'll start with my left hand, my right hand going through my armpit. I follow my eyes follow the thumb of my moving hand. I'm coming up and above. As I come up and above, like I always say, kind of keeping that proud chest or the tall chest, you're not letting your shoulder collapse. The shoulder of the stationary arm I'm referring to. I want to kind of keep solid through that shoulder. Hopefully that makes sense. And again, this arm that's moving is trying to stay perpendicular to my body as best as possible. As my neck rotates, because I'm keeping my eye on that moving hand. Get a little bit of neck rotation out of this as well. Just flip it around to my other hand, so my left or right hand is moving, my left hand is stationary. Again, my eyes are following the moving hand, keeping that strong shoulder, or kind of proud chest, as I like to call it. And of course, breathing. I like to breathe in through my nose, hold a second or two, and then exhale through the pursed lips, or like you're blowing out a birthday candle. Kind of a good relaxation exercise as well. Last one here. Good. For my next one, again, I'm kind of in this lunge, deep lunge position, one leg back on my knee, other leg out front. I'm going to use my right foot to start to the front. That means my right hand is moving. I'm going to reach again for my armpit, feel a little bit more stretch through my groin or my hip, and then up and above in a similar fashion to that previous exercise. But again, this just gets your hips a little bit more involved, and you should kind of get a stretch on both sides of your groin as you reach through your armpit. Usually that's kind of the opposite thigh that you're feeling that, and then you reach up, and you'll feel that in the opposite thigh. Ideally, and again, you're just going to the point where you're comfortable going, not forcing through range that does not feel right, listening to your body and understanding that it's okay that you may not be able to get as far as other people, including myself. Switching that around, so kind of reaching through. And again, it should feel quite nice. Actually, these movements should feel pretty good. It should not be a painful or strenuous thing that we're doing right now. Of course, it might feel a little stiff and maybe feel a little awkward for people that haven't done this very much. But in terms of pain, it should not be a painful experience that you're feeling right now, especially with those nice deep breaths. Should actually kind of be a little bit relaxing even. Last one. Cool. Okay, so I just wanted to warm up a little bit. It's a little bit chilly in our clinic here because we've had the heat off for over 2 weeks now. Trying to save on those hydro bills. Okay, so I've kind of been doing a lot of lunges these days, but I want to kind of continue with that. So I'm going to see if you can do like a side-to-side lunge again, just kind of get your heart rate up a little bit. So I'm just going to take a nice wide step to the side, bend the knee that I'm moving, and keep my stationary leg straight. And this is going to go back and forth maybe 20 times or so, so 10 on each leg. I just kind of like to have my hands out in front of me toward my chest, but again, you can cross your chest. I find if you put your hands across your hips, then you kind of get in the way a little bit, but that's appropriate for some people that feel that's more comfortable. You can even just have your hands out in front of you too. Kind of, hands are not really super involved in this one. Like I said, I just wanted to do a bit of a warm up because I was feeling a little cold personally. Like I said, this clinic of ours right now is a bit of a ghost town, so I'm trying to save the heat. Let's go a few more. I'm not the best counter, so I'm really relying on my count, but more just kind of on my fatigue level and feeling warm, adequately warm, so we can start a few strengthening exercises in a second. One more back and forth. Cool. Okay, so next one, I've done these in the past. I call them my star lunges. And this is really just a warm-up exercise for today. So again, we're going to step my right foot to start. I first go front, about 30 degrees, or let's say 45, 90, back 45, and then straight back 90. And then with the opposite leg, 90 back, 45 degrees, 90, 45 front. So let's just show you what that looks like. So I'm going to take a step forward to lunge down. And when I lunge, it's always kind of my back leg, I think, I'm bending. My hips are always going to face forward, even though I'm kind of moving in different directions here. Back 45, back to center, and then back straight back. I'm going to flip around my legs, and then my left leg is now moving straight back. back to 45. Again, my hips are always facing forward, straight out to the side, kind of up that 45. I'm going to go a few rounds of this just so people can understand what this is if they missed that first time I introduced this star lunge, I call it. Switching through the legs. So again, I'm going straight forward, about 45 degrees to the side with my pelvis or hips facing forward, straight out to the side, side lunge, back 45 degrees. And again, if you're finding there's a certain angle or position that you're not comfortable going, then you're just going to avoid that one and just repeat the previous angle. Hopefully that makes sense. So again, if you're finding, for example, that back 45-degree lunge doesn't feel comfortable or giving you some discomfort in your hip or other points of your body, then you're just going to sit those positions out and just repeat the positions that you're comfortable with. And just get up to the 45. And even if you're finding you don't like the movement of this and it's just too much coordination difficulties or something like that, you can always just do a stationary lunge as an alternative for those people that just feel this is way too much in terms of coordination or balance and all that. Because it is a bit of a coordination exercise. There's a lot of things happening, testing your balance, testing your strength, etc. Okay, cool. So that was kind of a bit of a warm-up. Let's try actually getting some strength today. So again, I wanted to get the chair involved. Again, I'll start easier just because, again, not 100% sure who's out there and who we got going today. So again, armchair is great. If you don't have a chair, you can do this without a chair. I'm just going to do squats to the chair. I'll go sideways maybe because that might be a better angle for those people watching on the video. I want to have a little bit of space between my foot and the base of the chair, the feet of the chair. But you can get a little bit closer if you're feeling a little bit nervous about it. If you feel a little bit worried about balance, you can always go in a door frame because that's a nice place to have your hands. You can support your hands on the chair or in the door frame, or even like get a little close to the wall. Get like a kitchen stool or something close by if you're feeling a bit of support. So I'm going to just do a bit of an eccentric squat. So I'm just going to slowly lower myself down into a squat position. I'm going to tap my bum onto the chair and then come right back up. So with my squat, I kind of think, again, my hips are driving backwards, like I'm sitting down in a chair, as we are, versus thinking I'm bending my knees. So I don't really even think about what my knees are doing because they should naturally just follow along. I'm thinking more about my hips driving behind me. And as I do that, a few cues that I kind of like to think about, again, I'm always an advocate of that alignment through your hips, through your knees, through your feet. You should have a roughly a straight line going traveling down. When you're into that deep squat position or the depth position, your knee should be virtually over your ankle, give or take. You just want to watch out for that knee crossing that plane of your toe. So if you imagine a toe, a line coming off your toe, you don't want to really allow your knee to cross over there. Getting up to that point though is fine. Just being aware of kind of where your toe is. When I see an eccentric squat, just to clarify what that is, it's basically just kind of slowly bending down and then standing up at kind of a regular tempo. So I don't know if you've noticed, but I'm trying to go a little bit slower down. So maybe take 2 to 3 seconds as you get into the squat or deep into the squat, and then come back up. Let's do a couple more. Again, there's a few other cues I didn't even talk about. We'll get into that as we do the next set. Okay, we have a warm up. So again, that would be our basic start for this exercise, for the progression. Let's make that a little bit harder. So what I'm going to do is actually pick up the chair, and I'm going to kind of bear hug the chair as I do this next squat again, just to add some weight. So if you don't have a chair, no problem. You can just do it with nothing. Your body weight's great. Again, this is why I said if you had like a milk jug, some dumbbells, liquid water detergent, etc., that's fine. So obviously, as you pick the chair, just bend down, get close to the chair. You won't be trying to like kill yourself and hurt your back. Next, to take the chair, again, depending on how heavy your chair is. This is obviously kind of a lighter metal chair, but if you have a heavy kitchen dining chair, that might be a little bit more weight to you. And again, we'll see how you can handle it. You could like get right into it and bear hug it. Or if you don't, I would kind of grasp it from the side and just keep it tight to your body, obviously even like touching your body. You don't want to be carrying it out like here because again, that's just going to put a lot of strain to your back and your shoulders. So the tighter you can keep it to your body, the better. So what I'm going to do is basically do a squat with a bit of weight. So I'm basically adding some extra resistance all the same stuff for now. We'll just kind of, again, think about bending from the hips, so driving the hips behind me. And then kind of sitting back in the chair without actually holding the chair. Woo. Almost lost it there. So again, it depends on how heavy your chair is and if you're able to do this with the chair or not. If you're finding, holy cow, my chair is heavy, it's a big dining chair with a lot of weight on it, then maybe you're going to do it without the chair and just kind of, again, just repeat what we did prior. Again, you're keeping that chair tight to your body, so again, you're not letting it get too far ahead of you, but just be aware of where your knees are. And you might need to get creative a little bit and go upside down, even sideways. It really depends on what your chair looks like. Again, I can't really see what you're doing. So again, you're just trying to get the legs out of the way. Keep that chair tight to your body as best you can, and then squat down. And then you try not to let it affect your form, because again, it might be a little bit awkward. Like I said, you might have to get a little bit creative with how you're carrying your chair just to get it out of the way of your legs. Upper body posture, again, you're trying to keep that chest tall, not let your chest collapse into your knees. I like to have a bit of space between my chin and my chest. So again, you're not doing that kind of chin poking posture we call it in physio. Let's go one more. And then this might be a little awkward for some people, so find it a bit awkward, just don't use the chair and then you'll do it without. Okay, so last one for the squat here. I'm going to kind of challenge some of you guys, and again, if you're not feeling up for it, just you can sit it out or just repeat another one. I'm going to try an eccentric squat two with one leg. So this one I'm going to be pretty tight to the chair with my calf. So my calf is pretty tight to where the front of that chair seat is. I'm going to stick one leg in front of me. Some people might find this really challenging to get up from, so I'm okay for you to slowly lower yourself down. So again, take about 2-3 seconds, and then if you need to use both feet to get back up, that's great. If you can do it just on the one leg, then you're going to try to do it on the one leg. It's totally your call. How strong you feel and how adequate you can do this with keeping that good technique. So again, that hip, that knee, that foot is as straight as you can keep it. Try to watch out for the wobbly knee, because that's really what's going to be a limiting factor for some people. Squeezing through your bum of that standing leg, keeping the glutes engaged will help with the knee wobble. And again, I'm trying to slowly lower myself down. And if I need to put both feet down to stand back up, I'm going to go ahead and do that. This person really wants to trust me. Oh, gosh. I'm going to call them back. It's the same person calling me, so I'm not sure who that is. Again, I'm answering the office phones right now. So, oh gosh. Go one more. Awesome. Okay, good. And then standing back up, we're going to switch over to the other side. Again, if you're finding these super challenging, you're just going to stick to your two-legged squat. Try to do, like I said, the eccentric, so the slowly down and then back up at regular tempo. But try to count a 2 or 3 second count as you go down and then get back up as you normally would. So again, you'll probably find a lot of people out there, at least will find that one leg is going to be easier than the other, and that's totally normal. Usually you'll find you have a dominant leg, and you're going to find that this is going to be much easier, more comfortable on one side, and significantly harder on the other. So again, you're just going to do what you can do adequately and just try to keep in that good technique, driving the hip back, good alignment of your hip, keeping your chest upright, keeping your chin kind of tucked in towards your chest, let's just call that. And again, if you're finding this is painful or anything like that, then obviously you can sit it out or just repeat one of the progressions earlier that feel more comfortable. Okay, cool. Let's shake that out real quick. Hopefully, again, you're getting a little bit of activity in those leg muscles. Should be getting a bit of a burn happening. Should be challenging, actually. I'm trying not to make these super easy on people. I'll feel that in my bum a little bit too, which, again, if you're engaging through your hip, that'll help keep that alignment through the hip and through your knee and through your foot. Okay. Our next one we'll try is the single leg hip hinge. I'm going to use a chair, so don't put it away too far, but I'll just start with, again, the basic version just to get those people that are a bit newer to understand how we do this. So my hip hinge, I kind of think if there's like a rod through my hip bone or the hip joint, that's where my rotation happens. So I'm going to stand on one leg. I'll start with my right. And then I'm gonna kind of hinge for my hip. Like I said, if I had a rod going for my hip, that's kind of where my pivot point is. My knee's gonna be slightly bent, and I'm gonna try to keep my chest and my back leg, for that matter, parallel to the ground. And I'm just gonna try to bend from my hip as close as I can to the ground. You don't need to think about I'm gonna try to get completely parallel, because that's actually pretty challenging to do. I'm gonna have a little bit of a bend in my knee of my stationary leg, my standing leg. You don't want that knee to be perfectly straight. And like I said, we'll just try a few of these. I just wanted to, again, get those people that are new to this an opportunity to just understand the basics here, because again, I'm gonna make these much harder in a second. But if people are still kind of new to this and never really done this kind of exercise, I want to just make sure there's a foundation before we start adding on more resistance, etc. And again, you should not be rotating. I shouldn't have any rotation in this. My pelvis in the back here, my backside should be relatively flat and parallel to the ground as I bend down. So one more. Good. Okay, I'm going to repeat on the other leg. So I'm switching over to my left, but again, if you were on your right, just switch it over. Again, you're hinging from your hips. So like I said, if you have that rod through your hip bones, that's where your rotation should be coming from. My back is actually staying relatively still. There's not really much bend happening in the back. It's actually quite stationary. My knee of my standing leg is slightly bent. I call it kind of a soft knee, I call it. So you're not locking on that knee. It should have a little bit of a bend in it. It shouldn't be straining your knee or anything. It should be relatively comfortable and relaxed. But you should be squeezing through your bum, especially as you get back to your upright position. I give it kind of a healthy squeeze there, because ideally that's where your movement is coming from. That's the muscle, the prime mover in this exercise. Their glutes, and that should be kind of squeezing to get you back to that upright position. Let's go one more. Awesome. Okay. So shake that out. I'm going to try to get one more degree more difficult here. So I'm going to add, basically when I'm in the kind of down position, I'm going to raise my arms. As I raise my arms, again, you're thinking the distance between your shoulders and your ears should stay pretty much the same throughout. So as you lift your arms, the tendency for people is going to want to be to shrug up. You want to kind of avoid that tendency and try to keep some space between your ears and your shoulders. I'm going to start with my right. Again, I'm going to try to get down into the bent position. And as I do that, I'm going to raise my arms over my head straight above and then back up. When I do this, I kind of think either I'm going to drive point my thumbs straight up in the air, or I'm going to kind of have my palms facing straight up in the air. The reason for that is to give your shoulder joint a lot of space to move. If you start putting your hands down, like kind of Superman flying, again, it's not really a big strain, but if people do have shoulder injury or shoulder problems out there, impingement would be kind of the word that we like to throw around. It might cause a little bit of pinching, especially if we started adding some weights. So for those of you that are a little bit more advanced in this type of stuff, if you had some dumbbells, you could carry some dumbbells in your hands. I wasn't going to, just because I said for ease of description, but this would be something you can throw in. Okay, switch over. If you were to hold dumbbells, like I said, you're either going to do a thumbs up, like you're holding a can of soda or something like that, or like I said, you're going to go palms up. Again, really important to keep that space or distance between your shoulder and your ear, especially as you get kind of higher with your hands. Because again, the biggest cheat move that we notice with a lot of people is you're going to start scrunching up your shoulders and kind of putting a lot of stress or strain through your neck. And again, if you're doing this properly, you actually should be engaging through the kind of the back of your shoulder blades, in addition to kind of getting the hip and the glutes going too. So this is kind of a nice combination exercise. Going to kill two birds with one stone. Okay, last one there. Let's get a little shake. Okay, so again, I'm going to get my chair involved again. And again, if you don't have a chair, again, you can use whatever you can, or just kind of don't even worry about it. Some dumbbells, if you got those. Jug of milk or whatever will work as well. You're going to again have to get creative. Again, I don't know what your chair looks like out there. So I'm going to kind of go backwards on my chair. But again, just make sure you're feeling comfortable with it. If it's a super heavy, solid chair, again, you might just be a little bit more cautious about how you're doing it. Obviously, you don't want to smack yourself in the shin or smash yourself in the face. So just be aware of where you're at and your equipment that you got, because they can't see you, obviously. So what I'm going to do is kind of keep it maybe just in front of my foot. And I basically, as I bend, I'm gonna hold it though. But as I bend down, again, I'm gonna get to that kind of parallel position with my body, and then I'm gonna throw in a row. So basically, I'm gonna keep the chair close to my body again, and just bend my elbows and pull the chair toward my chest. Again, I'm able to kind of stay in between the confines of where the legs are, and that kind of, I fit quite well into this. Depending on you, what kind of chair you decide to use, you may just need to manipulate the chair a little bit to give yourself adequate space. I'm just going to flip it around so I can just show some different positions of that chair. That's no good for me. The original position I had was good, but again, you may just have to toy with that chair a little bit and understand how to make that work. But again, I'm doing a row kind of exercise. With this, just like we did with the overhand reach, keeping awareness of my neck. So again, I'm not trying to shrug my shoulders up. You should have lots of space between your ears and your shoulders. I'm hoping you guys are getting a bit of a burn through your glutes right now. You should. This is our third set of this. So it is quite fatiguing. You might feel some fatigue through your foot even, because those little intrinsic foot muscles are working overtime right now to balance you. Hopefully you're getting a little bit of arm workout too. That was kind of the point of using the chair today, because I wanted to get a little bit of upper body movement. Okay, let's shake that out. You can always put the chair down. I'm just carrying my chair, but just kind of shake it up for a sip of water. I did a little bit more cardio yesterday, so today I'm doing a bit more strength. I don't know if you noticed that or not. And throwing a little bit more balance. Okay, so opposite foot, same deal. So I'm kind of hip hinge. Legs should be roughly parallel to the ground. I'm going to pull that chair toward my chest, and then straighten back out again. I'm keeping that chair nice and tight to my body. I don't want to be straining my back by putting it out in front of me. I mean, that could actually be a progression of this exercise, but again, we're not doing that right now, just for sake of ease and just for safety. So again, even I find I sometimes rotate a little bit. Again, my hip should, or my pelvis should be relatively perpendicular, flat, sorry, not perpendicular, parallel to the floor. Meaning kind of it's in line with the angle of the floor straight. If you do kind of start feeling you're losing form, you might want to just forget the chair and just focus on your form with no weights, just to kind of give yourself a better technique foundation before we start adding degrees of difficulty with these kind of external weights. Let's go a couple more. Okay, and last one. Cool, I'll just shake that out. Again, I was gonna do one more set of this, but I think I might move on just because my foot's actually getting a little bit fatigued. I'm sure you guys out there might be feeling the same. So I'm just gonna go on and just do another exercise instead of repeating that one. I did have another variation of that, but I just wanna make sure you guys are safe out there, because throwing around a chair might be a little different than you're used to. So I'll just do a bridge just to finish things off. We've got a few more minutes here before my timer starts getting close. I'm just going to start with an easy version, just to give people some foundation, some basics. Looks like I can fix it up to see my feet just a smidge. Again, so you're lying on the floor with your mat or your towel. Oops, my hat's kind of in the way. Okay, so your feet are kind of shoulder width apart, hands up to your side. I'm going to squeeze through my glutes, and then as I do so, I'm going to raise my bum off the floor, trying to end up with a straight line from my shoulders to my knees. And then again, I'm holding at the top for a second or two with a nice squeeze or tension through my glutes. Also give you a little bit of tension through my stomach. So again, that keeps my spine nice and strong as I kind of brace through my stomach. For those of you that find you don't need the hands to support the balance, you can go across your chest, or you can even have your hands kind of pointing straight up in the air. And then again, I'm kind of giving that little bit of a squeeze through my stomach, squeeze through my glutes to the top of this movement. And again, I'm just going to do maybe 10 or 12. And again, just starting these kind of foundational exercises, again, just to get people a chance to understand the concepts before we make it much more challenging. So one more after this. For people that have done these many times, that should be a pretty easy progression. So we're going to go straight into the next progression with the chair. So again, if you don't have a chair or footstool, adequate. Again, if you don't have a chair or a stool, then just repeat the first round. Okay, so same deal. I'm going to have my hands up to the side just to start. Let's go 2 feet, just to give yourself a bit of extra balance. All the same principles, your just feet are going to be a little higher, which gives you more room to move, which makes this harder actually. So you're going to have a bit of a different leverage point, and just being able to get through a bigger range, which will give those glutes and the hip extension, so the straightening, a better opportunity to get activated. So again, if your hands don't need to be in the ground to support you because you feel pretty strong in this position, you don't feel you're going to lose your balance, roll over, hand across chest is great, or even your hands straight up in the air is fine too. So again, I'm giving my stomach a little bit of squeeze to brace and protect my spine, as well as giving my glutes a nice healthy squeeze. As you kind of start pushing yourself up, it should really be coming from your hips, your glutes. You're probably going to get a little bit of activation in the hamstrings at the back of the leg as well. Perfect, and we'll just stop with that, and I'll finish off. We'll finish that up. We'll finish off with a single leg. So again, I'm going to keep it on the chair, but if you're feeling that it's hard, you can even just lose a chair and just do it from the ground on a single leg. I'm just going on the chair just for those of you that want to follow along a little bit more challenge. I'm going to have my stationary leg straight, and I'm just pushing off the heel of my planted leg versus the flat foot. But I really said to you, the heel adds a little bit more degree of difficulty versus a flat foot, just because there's a smaller surface area of contact. But really it's up to you and how difficult you want to make this on you. As I drive up again, I'm squeezing that leg of the planted leg, and then giving it a nice healthy squeeze through my stomach. And I'm not really holding at the top. You could hold the top for a second or two to add a little extra degree of difficulty as well. I'm just trying to get through this last couple sets here because time's going to run out and my camera's going to cut off soon. So let's see if we can do a couple more. Excellent. And then we're just going to alternate the feet. So switch over. Again, I like to go for my heel because it adds a little bit element of difficulty. I am holding on with both hands for this round just because I do find my support, or I'm going to need that extra little bit of balance so I don't fall over. But again, for those of you that are a little bit more inclined, you can obviously lift your hands off or across your chest. I'm just going to keep my hands down just, I'm getting tired. So again, you're squeezing through the glutes, squeezing through the core, bracing a little bit, protecting your back so you're not letting that sag down. And again, if you're finding this challenging, you can just get your feet back onto the floor, try single leg off the floor, or revert back to double legs. As much as you're feeling, you can challenge yourself. Let's go one more. Whew. All right. So there's our workout for today. Let's do a couple of stretches. I'll start with the hamstring. So I'm going to stick my foot out in front of me for my heel. Again, just like the hip can do my drive, or the squat, I'm going to drive my hips backwards as I kind of bend down my hand toward my foot. Again, it's not really about trying to touch your toe, it's more about driving your hip back. So you're going to hold that for a few seconds. Take some nice deep breaths in through my nose, and up through my pursed lips. I can blow a birthday candle. Switch it over. Just sticking my heel out in front of me. Change my angle so you can see that a little bit better. Again, I'm driving my hips back as I bring my hand down toward my foot. Again, I'm not really concerned about trying to touch my foot. I'm just concerned about getting a nice stretch in the back of my thigh, back of my knee. Take a nice deep breath in through your nose. And up through the pursed lips. One more. Good. I'm going to just grab the back of my chair, or if you don't have the chair, you can always hold the wall or a door frame. Grab my ankle. I'm going to pull my heel towards my bottom. And as I do that, I'm going to kind of think about kind of pushing my hip forward. And then I'm going to try to get a little bit of a stretch through my front of the thigh there. So the more you can kind of keep your knee pointed to the floor, and again, just give it a little bit of a drive forward with your hip. You should get a pretty nice stretch through the front of your thigh. You're just going to hold this for a few seconds. Take some nice deep breaths in through your nose, through your mouth. One more. Okay, we'll just repeat that on the other leg. So again, I always like to remind people that if you're finding that these exercises are just really challenging, causing a lot of discomfort, or you're just kind of uncertain about my instruction, just you might be new to this, or you just might not be familiar with exercising from home, because I know this is quite a new thing for a lot of people out there. We are offering through our physios kind of a virtual or tele-rehab component, basically kind of online physio consults, to see for ease of description, where you can get a one-on-one session with one of our fine physios out there to actually walk you through and help you at the level you're at, kind of get the most effective exercise program going for you, considering your health conditions, any kind of comorbidities you may or may not have, your level of exercise and intensity that you can handle. But they'll do a thorough assessment and really make sure that you've got a plan that's going to work for you. We are looking into trying to get all the insurance plan, our companies on board. Many of them have gotten on board, but there's still a few holding out, which is really frustrating from our point of view, because we're trying to help out our community and they're being a bit of a pill when it comes to covering them. But many of them are covering. So again, if you need to, just give your insurance company a call and ask them if they're covering virtual physio or tele-rehab, online physio consults. Many of them are. But like I do say, I am going to continue with these exercise classes because it's something that I find is really awesome for the community to keep going, giving a sense of normalcy to a lot of people out there. Really even just providing some routine exercises for people to participate in. But again, I always say, I always kind of end these calls that we're really here for you guys out in the community there that follow us along. And if you do need anything, if you fall ill, then we're more than happy to see what we can do to help you guys out and help people get through this COVID-19 situation. Okay, so my call is going to end really quick here, so I just want to sign off. We have Dom tomorrow who's going to be guest lecturing, so please tune in for tomorrow's class, 12:30 as usual, Monday through Friday. And like I said, Dom is going to be helping out with that one, so I'm really excited to kind of see some different perspectives and some new exercises ideally. So anyways, have a great afternoon, everybody. Stay healthy, and we'll catch you guys tomorrow.